A Korean Tale. A young woman by the name of Yun Oki came one day to the house of a mountain hermit to seek his help. The hermit was a sage of great renown and a maker of charms and magic potions. When Yun Oki entered the house, the hermit said, without raising his eyes from the fireplace into which he was looking, "Why are you here?" Yun Oki said, "O famous sage, I am in distress. Make me a potion." Yes, make a potion. Everyone needs a potion. Can we cure a sick world with a potion?" "Master," Yun Oki replied, "if you do not help me, I am truly lost." "Well, what is your story?" the hermit asked, resigned at last to listen. "It is my husband," said Yun Oki. "He is very dear to me. For the past 3 years he's been away fighting in the wars. Now he has returned, he hardly speaks to me or to anyone else. If I speak, he doesn't seem to hear. When he talks at all, it is roughly. If I serve him food that is not to his liking, he pushes it away and angrily leaves the room. Sometimes when he should be working in a rice field, I see him sitting idly on top of the hill, looking towards the sea." "Yes, so it is sometimes with young men that come back from wars," the hermit said. "Go on." "There is no more to tell, learned one. I want a potion to give my husband so that he will be loving and gentle as he used to be." "Ha, so simple is it?" the hermit said. "A potion? Very well, come back in 3 days and I'll tell you what you will need for such a potion." 3 days later, Yun Oki returned to the home of the mountain sage. "I have looked into it," he told her. "Your potion can be made, but the most essential ingredient is the whisker of a living tiger. Bring me the whisker and I will give you what you need." "The whisker of a living tiger," Yun Oki said. "How could I possibly get it?" "If the potion is important enough, you will succeed," the hermit said. He turned his head away, not wishing to talk any more. Yun Oki went home. She thought a great deal about how she would get the tiger's whisker. Then one night, when her husband was asleep, she crept from the house with a bowl of rice and meat sauce in her hands. She went to the place on the mountainside where the tiger was known to live. Standing far off from the tiger's cave, she held out the bowl of food and called the tiger to come and eat. The tiger did not come. The next night, Yun Oki went out again, this time a little bit closer. Again, she offered the bowl of food. Every night, Yun Oki went to the mountain, each time a few steps nearer to the tiger's cave than the night before. Little by little, the tiger became accustomed to seeing her there. One night, Yun Oki approached to within a stone's throw of the tiger's cave. This time, the tiger came a few steps closer to her and stopped. The two of them stood there, looking at one another in the moonlight. It happened again the following night, and this time they were so close that Yun Oki could talk to the tiger in a soft, soothing voice. The next night, after carefully looking into Yun Oki's eyes, the tiger ate the food she held out for him. After that, when Yun Oki came to that in the night, she found the tiger waiting for her on the trail. When the tiger had eaten, Yun Oki would gently rub his head with her hand. At last, one night, after caressing the animal's head, Yun Oki said, "O tiger, generous animal, I must have one of your whiskers. Do not be angry with me." And she snipped off one of his whiskers. The tiger did not become angry, as she had feared he might. Yun Oki went down the trail, not walking but running, with the whisker clutched tightly in her hand. The next morning, she was at the mountain hermit's house just as the sun was rising from the sea. "O famous one," she cried, I have the tiger's whisker. Now you can make me the potion you promised so that my husband will be loving and gentle again." The hermit took the whisker and examined it. Satisfied that it had really come from a tiger, he leaned forward and dropped it into the fire that burned in the fireplace. "Oh, sir," the young woman called in anguish, "what have you done with it?" "Tell me how you obtained it," the hermit said. "Why, I went to the mountain each night with a little bowl of food. At first I stood afar, and then I came a little closer each time, gaining the tiger's confidence. I spoke gently and soothingly to him to make him understand I wished him only good. I was patient. Each night I brought him food, knowing he would not eat, but I did not give up. I came again and again. I never spoke harshly. I never reproached him. And at last one night he took a few steps towards me. That time came when he would meet me on the trail and eat out of the bowl that I held in my hands. I rubbed his head and he made happy sounds in his throat. After that, only after that, did I take the whisker. Yes, yes, the hermit said, you tamed the tiger and won his confidence and love. But you've thrown the whisker in the fire, Yunoki cried. It's all for nothing. No, I don't think it's all for nothing, the hermit said. The whisker is no longer needed. Yunoki, let me ask you, is a man more vicious than a tiger? Is he less responsive to kindness and understanding? If you win the love and confidence of a wild and bloodthirsty animal by gentleness and patience, surely you can do the same with your husband. Hearing this, Yunoki stood speechless for a moment. Then she went down the trail, turning over in her mind the truth she'd learned in the house of the mountain hermit. The end.